Hello everybody and welcome to Let's Build Live from a very hot Oak Hill Works. How are you all doing this evening? I hope you are well. I would like to start by reminding you all that in these rather warm times, hydration is very, very, very important. Please do keep hydrated. So, we are back with the D3 looking very D3 like. And thank you, James, for the hydration is important link to kick us off. Much appreciated. So yes, whilst we've been away, the D3 has received a coat of gloss to help with the transfers. So it is looking very, very shiny now. I'll try not to blind you with that too much. So it was so warm yesterday, the gloss started to get sticky again. That was fun. So tonight's job is, of course, to get some of these on it. These are, as usual, from EB Models. Very much appreciate what Ian does. And will help make the loco look very complete. We've used them to great success before on the i3. I have also used them on a B1 and a Terrier. And I got all three of those locos done with a single sheet. There is still stuff here I can use from that first sheet, but I do now have a second one for actually doing the majority of the work. Still, three locos worth of transfers from a single sheet, which I believe I paid £20 for. I think is pretty good, don't you? And good evening, Red. How are you doing this evening? I hope you are well, my friend. Proof of locomotives looking complete. Complete is good look for locomotives. It is, isn't it, James? So yes, we will be going with the new sheet, which has had one bit cut out of it because I've ruined a bit from the first sheet. But if you don't tell, I won't. And we are, as I have done with every other tank loco, going to start with a tank side, because tank sides are the most visible part, really. Now we're going to be cutting into the sheet with a knife, so I'm going to put a new blade on, because we want as sharp an edge as possible for cutting through the transfer paper. This has nothing to do with the fact that I've been using the knife to cut hardboard at all. But when you have this many blades, occasionally you just use them to cut hardboard because you're not worried about ruining a couple of blades. Good evening, Paderborn. How are you? I hope you are well. We'll also be using the steel rule to keep lines straight. And good evening, Killian. How are you? I hope you are well. Lots of people joining us. It is great to see you all here already. So yes, two things you want for cutting paper and with your transfers. It's a decent straight edge and a sharp blade. I'm sure most of you know that, but there's bound to be people out there that don't. You are well, that is good to hear, Killian. Also important to know where you are cutting so that you do not come across the front of the transfer. And on these ones from Ian, you want to get as close to the transfer as you can, because the backing paper does cover the entire sheet. This is not an issue with places like Fox transfers. Where there is no big visible backing paper. But it is a byproduct of Ian's manufacture that it has that. The cutout transfer then goes into some warm water. Shouldn't be too hard to keep this water warm this evening. You are okay, that is good, Red, glad to hear it. And good evening, Javier. How are you? I hope you are well. I of course use my very sharp and nice and easy and light to grip with tweezers for manoeuvring the transfers about, as well as a brush once they are in position on the locomotive. The mixture of the two allows a nice level of control. Of course, other methods are available and no one method is correct. Just put my son to bed, 28 in his bedroom. Oh, blimey. That is a bit warm to be trying to sleep, isn't it? Looking forward to seeing Hayward Sea fully lined and lettered. Thank you, Killian. Hopefully we shall get some way into that this evening. Fairly well tonight, thanks for asking. Good to hear it, Javier. Been feeling quite organised to do wagons the past few days. I'm about to start another. Excellent. I did see your wagons on Twitter earlier. They were looking rather nice. And there we are, with a little bit of manoeuvring, there is a transfer in place. And it obviously doesn't look too great on camera because the loco body is too shiny, but I assure you it is looking fantastic in real life. Painting a Space Marine Primaris Chaplain from the new starter box. Ooh, very nice. I totally know Warhammer, me. Alex can confirm that from when he was streaming it. I totally knew what was going on. And of course, that one now wants to be given some time to dry before anything else touches it, so we will do the opposite corner. And good evening, Linny. How are you? I hope you are well. Linny is good, just rather warm. Yeah, of course it is, up there in Scotland. Must be so warm. Do believe Pokey's tagging on Discord something about cheap Stroudley carriages for sale. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Those are things I'm interested in. Hang on a second, I have to look. I want them for that price. I want them badly for that price. I am quite happy to pay that price for those. I have a very much a need to own them. But yeah, so the talk of warm. The Met Office reported Hicktown was the joint warmest place in the UK yesterday. That was fun. And it was warmer today. At 8 o'clock, the weather station down the road was reporting reporting temperatures of 30 degrees Celsius, which is the high 80s in Fahrenheit. Oak does want the coaches, yes. Oak saw you. I saw your link you posted on Discord, and I very much want them. And there we are, 2 corners done, which you still can't really see too well on camera, can you? Let's see if we can get some better focus with that. That's a bit better, you can at least see where it is now. Want me to buy them and get them shipped to you and possibly reimburse me? That would be absolutely fine if you want to do that, yes. So actually I have the money sat in the PayPal account from all those drawings I've sold. I can just, if you get it arranged for me, I can just, and then drop me a DM on Discord with how much you want. I can transfer it straight over. There, the 1980s numpties now have somewhere to fumigate themselves. Also nice lining. Well, I'm glad to hear the 1980s numpties can do that, James. And thank you for the nice lining. Bet it looks great. Shame I've got the stream set to 144p in an attempt to stop the buffering. Has it worked, Alex? Has it stopped the buffering? And more importantly, can you hear me? Because I know what your blooming machine's like for not hearing me for some reason. It doesn't like YouTube, your machine, does it? It's a bit like you in that way. Wasn't quite straight. It is now. So, where do we go from here, one asks? Well, the obvious place would be to work backwards, but I think I'm going to go forwards and see if see what the right loop is for there. Because I do believe that is, oh yeah, there it is. It's our tightest arch here is the one for this. And of course these need doing freehand because my straight edge isn't very good at cutting round corners. Can hear you when I turn my speakers up to 100. I've got TSW set to 5% to compensate. So far it seems to have fixed the buffering. Looks like you were streaming on 1980s VHS. Don't press the pause button then. Wear out the tape. So I'm going to cut these out in their entirety. And then cut them down to size after. Gosh, I remember 1980s VHS, it was serviceable. Yeah, that's a good way of looking at, of describing it. Literally, it's so bad I can't read the on-screen chat. Wow, that's bad. That's very bad indeed. Come, we've been going for 20 minutes now. And I'd like to take this time to remind everyone, hydration is important. And there's the police helicopter flying low overhead. The natives must be up to their usual tricks. Did not know Kaiser did Stroudley coaches. Indeed they did. There is I've done a couple on stream. They were quite nice builds. There's a couple of modifications to that can improve them, but they're generally quite nice. So all except Alex can now see that that sort of lines up with the arch. But needs cutting down. By doing that, I've now got a pair of folds in them exactly where I want to cut, and I can cut them back on the workbench so that I'm not pressing the knife into the loco, and check against the body again, and yeah, I am happy with that. Dang, third in line, most likely won't get them. Oh well, you have tried for me and it is very much appreciated. Sometimes I think the police might as well build a helipad by my house considering how much they fly over our area. They are over here most nights at the minute. And most days for that matter. Yes, Kay's dead. Heck, I have one. Do ya? Didn't realise you had a Stroudley. I know you've got one of the it's the LNWR 6-wheelers, isn't it, that Kay's did? Indeed, you had one of... Oh yeah, I did know you had a Stroudley. So I've been after some more Kay's ones for a while, because I have two. It would be nice to have a full rake of Kay's ones. I put my pliers... So there they are, I found them. And now it's fallen off the edge. And there we have some lining on the top of the wheel arch. There is a bump in there that I've got to work out how to get round, because it looks to be the same as this, but I don't really want to waste an entire loop on that. Oh, and what's nice is 5 completed and 2 junk ones, and the lining looks nice. Oh wow, that would be amazing if you did get them then. So the fact you have tried is really, really appreciated, even if you don't get them. Now we have lots of other bits to do in all sorts of funny shapes. Such as round the cab. Which I do believe will need a slight cutting down. I'm not sure. Don't drop your knife though. But we can certainly get one on there, and their corresponding opposite corners done. The lining looks nice. Thank you very much. So whilst we have 10 viewers, I still have some drawings for sale. For those that don't know, I've been selling some drawings from a bulk load I got on eBay. I still have a LSWR B4, an LT&SR 4-wheel bullion van, and an LTSR horse box. £2 each. And I've got magazine articles for a few, again £2 each. All come with drawings. There's an SECR D class, an SECR L class, and an NER Raven D class. All up for grabs. £2 each. That's all I've got left from a rather large bulk lot I've got. LTSR sold. Good evening, Harry. Four-wheel bullion van and four-wheel horse box, both of LTSR origins. Drop me a message via any of my socials. Twitter, there's now Facebook, the website, there's the Discord, there's my email, gary@oakhillmodelrailway.co.uk. Drop me a message on any of them. There's £2 each plus £3 postage. I can reply to you with a PayPal link to pay it, and I can get them posted when I post the rest. And good evening, Heritage Railway Productions. How are you? I hope you are well. Eclectic collection indeed. LTSR enthusiast, he is indeed. Live near the LTSR and have read some interesting books on its history. You will tomorrow? Excellent, Harry. And there is all the links from Alex. James, it's the first time we've been through this. So we've got Discord, Twitter, the website, the merch, the donate, and the Patreon from Alex, who still refuses to go like that, because we have one of those now. I know, I shouldn't have given in, but I did. I'll tell you what, James, I've been tempted to put that as a command to save him the effort. He's such a good mod. Of course, if I did an all the links one, I would include Facebook in that, and I'm not sure how he'd feel. 3 cheers for Alex indeed. Hip hip. I'm hoping someone types it at some point. I know you're a bit behind, so lag and stuff. Cheering. Just check, diagrams 4mm scale. They are, Harry, they are all 4mm scale. Don't really see it as effort, but I'm never doing Facebook. Oh, I know. We still don't have any. I don't think I've seen any new likes coming in the last week, so that puts us still at the 10 that Killian said last time. Hurrah! There we go. Linny got the hurrah. Hip hip. That was only the first one. There's 2 more to go. So let's check how this measures up. Yeah, as I thought, it's not quite right. Interestingly, not quite right in ways I wasn't expecting as well. All the cheering. See, Alex, everyone loves you. Hydration is still important on this very, very, very hot evening. Yeah, no, I'm not actually cheering red. It's too hot for that. I forgot to cut the top off of this. Let's hopefully not destroy it too much as we do this. Yep, there we go, got it fine. And the rest is still on the backing paper. And sits nicely in place. See, you'd think that would make me happy, but it mainly sends my self-consciousness through the roof. Well, there's no need to be self-conscious about it, Alex. Just know that you're doing a good job. And good evening, Simon. How are you today? I hope you are well. Oh, well, I can hear that police helicopter again. Right, I'll now mark that where it needs cutting. Why do the natives have to misbehave when I'm trying to stream, eh? Not too bad, struggling a bit with this heat though. It is a bit much, isn't it? Looking forward to it being over. So I'm wondering what that police helicopter must be thinking as he flies overhead with his heat scanning stuff on, sees me sat here surrounded by all these lights, thinking, what is that madman doing? Ha, 90 degrees. It was 90 degrees here earlier. In fact, it was more than 90. It was 90 degrees at about sunset. It got up to at least 35 Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. 90 something. Oh, the heat, celebrated everywhere for its awfulness. Yeah, except for from Will, obviously. You guys are hot too? Yes, Javier. So when I started streaming, it was 30 Celsius, which is the high 80s in Fahrenheit. It's by the time I finish, it should be down to 23. But that's outside temperature. It'll be a lot warmer than that in here. It's a good 90 today. I think that's like 30, 32 roughly for 90. Yeah, it was hotter than that today, and it was hotter than that yesterday. And yeah, the Americans all have AC. We don't. Search YouTube for Hot Night Laura Branigan. Do I want to, James? No. Self Control is a much better song. You're all speaking foreign again. Yes, the aircon. As I've heard it. Yeah, we don't have AC here in the UK. So, I mean, my arm is shiny from the sweat right now because it is extremely hot in here. Pop song from the 80s, fair enough. You think my father allows it to be turned on below 90? I mean, I'd just like to have it. It might not be below 90 anymore, but it was above 90 earlier. And it was yesterday as well. It is good, but less fitting for this evening's purpose. Yeah. I'll take your words on these things. I'm never going to remember. I can't even remember who we're talking about now. Never mind by the time I'm finished. Best we have a pedestal fans, which essentially just blow the hot air at you. Yeah. That is basically all we have. I don't even have one of them on. Mainly because I don't have one. I used to have one. It died. It was a very sad day. ice. Yeah, I have this full of ice, and this is all freezer gel, so this is frozen. And on top of the fact the mug is frozen, it is also full of ice. Oh wow, even the camera is warm. Hydration is important, everyone. Hydration is too cold. I have made it cold too much. I have solid tango there. I best fill that up. I have air conditioning, but only my railway modelling shed. So when it's hot, I have no option but to work on my model railway. I don't have a model railway shed. I have all my model railways in my house. A much better place for air conditioning and model railways. Guess it's time to start up the AC fundling. Brilliant, Javier. I mean, if enough of you go on there and donate, I will buy AC. Because it is needed. You also get a green name on Discord. Right, so again, this needs cutting off here. And whilst we wait for that to soak, that needs cutting there. If you get air conditioning, get proper air conditioning, not a swamp cooler or one of those internal only units. No, obviously. Proper window mounted all the way. See, it's a moral quandary. I want AC because it's too hot, but AC is contributing to climate change and thus making summer hotter. Yeah, but all you have to do then, Alex, is turn your AC on and leave the doors open, and then you're cooling down outside as well. Yeah, she needs to get on without all the Freon, says Javier. Okay, so that has soaked enough that the transfer is coming off the backing paper. This has not yet been in the water. I just put my finger on it. When you get air conditioning that also heats, it's more efficient than gas heating, so it'll balance out. I don't use my gas heating very often. I'd rather freeze at the minute than have heating on. Had to disappear to take phone calls. How is Gary? So Gary's now 1.75 speed. While I catch up, I'll make sure to speed up talking for a bit for you then, Linny, so that when you get to this part it's even faster. How's that? Problem with speaking at that speed is I run out of what I'm saying way too quickly. Oh no, it folded. Don't do that transfer. Yeah, it unfolded. We forgot to cut the top down again. I'll deal with it later. Don't know how you have the patience for transfers, Gary. Yeah. Sounds like a plan. Fight climate change with AC. Exactly, Harry. I don't think that's how energy transfer works. It would balance out, but if I ever put the heating on, but even in winter, I'm rarely cold enough to. Our heating bill is near non-existent. It was quite late in the year that I actually put the heating on last year, and it got turned off reasonably early. Of all the things we've had this year, an ice age isn't one of them. Darn, I've jinxed it now, haven't I? So, sorry for that, guys. I didn't mean to cause an ice age. Bit late now, though, isn't it? Ice age 2021. Right then, I don't want those long ones. I think I want to use these ones here. An ice age would be most welcome, seriously. I approve of woolly mammoths. What we need, if you have an ice age, is saber-toothed squirrels trying to hide acorns. Because we all know that is the best bit of an ice age. Raise your hands if you get that reference. Ice age might just kill off the stupid virus. Maybe. Something's got to. I'm assuming it's from the Disney film of the same name. It is indeed, James. Don't viruses thrive in cold? Do they thrive in ice age level of cold though? In fact, yeah, it'll just get frozen. It'll come back as soon as it falls out. Ice Age Blue Sky Animation, not Disney. One of them. They're all the same, aren't they? All you kids with your Disneys. Cut this about there. Right, that's marked that. We don't ever want to put too much pressure on while it's on the loco for obvious reasons. If it's not obvious, then you know it's because we don't want to cut through the loco. We put a lot of work into making it look pretty. We don't want to put a knife through it. Haven't seen it, so I wouldn't know. I have seen it because my kids are of the right age, but I've not seen it for a long time. All you kids with your Disney. Exactly. Assuming you're from the 1890s then, obviously. Prove of not putting a knife through one's locomotive. As do I. They do own basically everything now. Exactly, Alex. There has even been talks of Disney buying Apple. Hydration, still important once it's not frozen. That not frozen, generic, fizzy, sugar-free orange drink is much better than it was when it was frozen. I mean, it's still very, very, very cold, which is also good. Prove of not putting a knife through anything. I put a knife through the transfer because I wanted to cut the transfer, though, Red. Do you approve of that? Or at least anything that isn't food. Oh, good point. Knives also go through food. Anything is food if you try hard enough. I mean, some things are only food once, but anything can be food. If Disney bought Apple, would they feed it to Snow White? God, I hope so. Anything to get rid of it. No, punching the microphone. Punching the microphone is bad. Progress. The capsides are getting lots of reflections and also there. Owl? Where does the owl come from? If it's about punching the microphone, don't worry about that. It doesn't. Oh, I've punched the microphone so many times I don't feel it anymore. Should probably avoid punching the microphone so much. It's good having a microphone I can punch again though. Right, now we need 6 hands preferably. Punch was very loud. Many apologies. I don't punch it on purpose. And whilst I realised it would have picked up audibly, I didn't realise it would be that loud, because it's not actually the microphone I hit, it's the cable underneath it. Also recommend not punching your microphone, especially if your microphone is on your mobile. It is not. My mobile is here and completely separate, and today has a nice picture of some trees for my background. But the problem is, whilst you can obviously work out roughly where I am, I'm slightly to the right of the camera. The microphone is right here. This is where my arm comes in and out. So it's quite easy to catch that cable on the bottom. Didn't mean to, says the person who by his own admission enjoys the misery of his friends. Shush you. Achievement unlocked, custom destination blinds in Engage. Excellent, James. Very excellent. But yeah, it's as I'm reaching over to the water and my tools and stuff. The microphone is right where my arm comes in. Catching that cable is loud, very loud. Like in the cameo by the carriage lamp. The carriage lamp cameo is good, isn't it? Remember to smash that like button or I'll smash the microphone cable again. How's that? Is that good? Is that the way to get you to all smash the like button? I do try avoiding it. Yeah, our first joined bits. It's like how on the other side of me I have the same problem with the boom arm for the camera. Because if we turn this way, my arm comes in here underneath the boom for the camera. And of course, this is also where the transfers and stuff are, so that's how I end up punching the camera all the time. And good evening, Great Northern Six. How are you? I hope you are well. Lots of cameos by my studio equipment today. Now if I cut this bit in half, these are dry enough, I should be able to link them up. I am very well, thank you. So I can get those two bits soaking. Whilst they're soaking, that needs about half of that cutting off. I can do that without. Marking it. That's better. Yeah, I'm too warm, but I'm well. Hydration is very important. And topping it up seems to have fixed the whole it's frozen thing and started it melting. Oh, we left the backing paper behind. rid of that bit of backing paper out of there. And there we have some nice intricate lining around the cab openings. I am rather happy with how that is looking. And I apologise for assumed loudness there. That was the bit of card catching on the pop filter on the microphone, which I'm sure was quite loud. I hate humidity. I'm hotter than when it goes dark than I am during the day. Yeah, humidity sucks, doesn't it? It's the humidity rather than the heat that's annoying. Looking for nice, Mr. Ow. Yeah, sorry. That was genuinely a mistake. Whilst Mr. Mole may like to, whilst he may like to think that I'm not doing it by accident, I am doing it by accident. Yeah, that was the bit of card on the pop filter. Because I am a professional and have a pop filter. And I totally get how that is loud. Because that is basically directly attached to where the microphone picks up sound. That makes sense in my brain. Something has to make sense in my brain. So we now want one of these little ones for this back corner, and then one of our hooked outwards bits, that's the technical term obviously, for here. You feed off our misery. Accidental is not an option. Accidental is the truth. Regardless of what Mr. Mole says. I mean, even his claims that I feed off your misery are only partly true. And now, without punching the microphone, we put that in the water. Because not punching the microphone is the best punching the microphone. At least that's what you lot tell me. I am going to try and watch this back tomorrow and see how loud it is, because I'm genuinely curious as to just how loud that is, although at least I'll be prepared for it, which I suppose is an advantage I will hold over you. So how is everyone doing this evening? Do we have projects on the go? I know James is working on his Engage DMUs. Do it with headphones. I will do it with headphones just for you, Paderborn. There are the headphones I will do it with. Not just any headphones. Sony headphones, not sponsored. We left our backing paper behind again. Testing a reskin and sound pack on the Long Island Railroad in TSW. Awesome. Probably will be next week's stream. Oh, nice. Did you hear that, Javier? Next Friday, Alex will be streaming some Long Island Railroad. As I mentioned in passing earlier, I've been painting some Space Marines in Gary can do English. Figuratively sitting on for a while, plus a chaplain from the new starter set I got cheap. Awesome. So I find Warhammer stuff interesting to look at, but it's never something I've got into, although a lot of my friends were when I was younger. Quickly finish off my portable layout before I take it on holiday tomorrow. Oh, very nice. Off to anywhere nice. Moved on from no smoking signs to first class stripes. Well, you'll have some very nice DMUs by the end of all this, James. Yeah, I thought you'd like that, Javier. Not a lot on the layout recently, taking a break from it. Still run a train most days. The new C-Class is amazing. Excellent, Simon. Running trains is always good. Don't have to be working on it constantly, and I'm glad you like the C-Class. I say, I have seen the Farish C-Class up close. The friend got one when they first came out, and they are fantastic, aren't they? To set my calendar, Mr. Rance, you will, won't you, Javier? It'll be next Friday, it'll be 9:30. I'm not giving any more promotion than that. And I've only mentioned it because you did, Alex, and I knew Javier would like it. It's fine, Gary, the game takes a lot of practice to get into. Anyway, the models can make very cool display items, though. Yeah, so, my son plays a bit. He's not got many, but he does play a bit with scouts of all things. They have Warhammer evenings. Obviously, they have them for a while, but they do sometimes have Warhammer evenings. Wish it was Steam Era LIIR, but I do like even the modern one. Well, it couldn't be Steam Era in TSW, could it? Working on industrialising a brake van. Oh, very interesting. Please do post some pictures on the Discord later. I would enjoy seeing that. Down to the line Regis. Oh yes, you mentioned that, didn't you? I forgot about that. I'll post the link as normal on Discord. There we go. See, I don't have to promote you any further. As I say, I only mentioned it because I knew Javier would be interested. Will do. Excellent. I do like when people post their modelling on Discord for us to all admire. There we no, I thought I'd got them there. There we go. Got the bits of backing paper out. So remember earlier when we were looking at this front end, I hope there's enough light on that, and I was saying I was going to have to work out how I'm going to get round this bit because I didn't want to waste one of them. I have decided that what I'm going to do, yeah, innovative this, I'm going to use one of these transfers that are quite obviously designed for it. Clever me, aren't I? Came up with that idea all on my own. And now I'm going to put this bit of card back without catching the pop filter. It is a very cunning plan, isn't it, James? I've not been able to find the bit I want to find, though. There's got to be somewhere. I'm assuming I could use these, but there's got to be some curves that I think should be a bit tighter than that for going around here. But I do think those should do it. But before that, we are going to go all the way back down to the front and do that transfer that I just mentioned. Because otherwise, I will forget it's there. I'm sure many of you will agree that not forgetting it's there is probably best. And there we go. Yes, I do think that's the best thing to use for there. The transfer obviously designed for it. Good evening, Thomas. How are you? I hope you are well, sir. You join us as we attempt to make the D3 not look completely rubbish. We have not decided how well we've done that yet. Right, how the devil are you? I am hot. That is how I am. It is good to hear you are okay. Now the problem is getting rid of the top section but not the bottom, getting a nice and accurate as to where we put our diagonal cut so that we lose the gold lining that would otherwise be in the way. We don't get many attempts at this because there's not many on the sheets. I believe we're sort of okay. We will soon find out. And whilst we wait to find out, I remind you again, hydration is very, very, very important when it is this warm. There is still a lot of frozen tango in there. But yes, James, I did say gold. Gold. Always believe in your soul. You've got the power to know that's not how I sing. That's probably better than how I really sing. My singing really is that bad. No, sorry, it's not that bad. It's probably much worse. Yes, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Generic orange fizzy hydration fluid. Generic orange sugar-free fizzy liquid. At least I'm hoping it. Yep, it is a sugar-free one. Tesco have been absolutely terrible for a stock of orange flavoured fizzy drinks recently, which I do genuinely normally have the generic stuff, because the generic stuff is 50p for a 2 litre bottle. The branded stuff is £1.50 for a 2 litre bottle. But they've not had any of their own brand stuff in for 3 weeks now. Right, so we can finish off the tank sides now with these corners and then move back onto the cab sides. We could, theoretically speaking, have this side done tonight. I think that's quite impressive. I'll have to bring up my photo to get the spacing on the LB&SCR right though, because I don't think it should be as close as it is on the sheet. Also, I should point out that is the second time I've said tango, and only the first time you've picked up on it. More of an iron brew guy. Oh, Linny will approve of that. Iron Brew is one of those drinks that is always really hard to get a hold of in Hicktown. Either we have a lot of Scottish people or Tesco are just rubbish at stocking it. I was hooked on Fanta Grape, but you can't get it around here anymore. See, I used to drink, as I'm sure a lot of you will remember, I used to drink Coke all the time. Until after about 4 years of being on offer, they took it on offer and I stopped buying it in protest. Once they put it back on offer, I'd got some and I just didn't like it. So I've since moved over to orange. Linny will very much approve of Iron Brew, best with a haggis supper from the chippy. Previous owner of this brake van decided to super glue the roof on, so I've just snapped part of the front of it off. Looks like I need to change my plans for it. Oh no! That is not good. Not repairable then? Gary wants some Iron Brew posted down. It's a bit much to be posted, isn't it? It's been years since I've tasted girders in my drink. I think Coke is overrated, as do I actually. Lidl's own brand Iron Brew is actually really close to the real thing. Interesting. We don't have a Lidl. Sadly not, the part is shattered into 4 pieces. Ah. So not a case of repair with lots of glue then. Can you make a new one out of plasticard? Not so much when Amazon deliver it, even the proper full sugar stuff. Oh, do they now? I did not know that. Obviously the proper full sugar stuff is the best. It kind of ruins my not having sugar thing. But I am aware of the comments made when they took the sugar away. I mean, what I really want, Lily, is for your old work to hire you back and you to provide me with more Iron Brew chocolate, because that was brilliant. Oh, look, the bot says hydration is important. My hydration vessel says hydration is very frozen. The vessel is still half full. It is solid ice. Yeah, grape doesn't seem all that popular flavour here in the UK. Have an oily rat plastic card, haven't been able to get any more at the moment. Ah, fair enough. Open top convertible brake van it is then. Brake van's industrial and non-standard roof might be just a thing. That's a good point. That shouldn't have. I apologise for that. That was me moving it so that I didn't catch it. I do apologise for that. I mean, I wasn't expecting it to make any noise when I did that. Never mind enough to hurt your ears. Because I came very, very close to catching it with my drink. And I thought, you know what, I'd best move that so that doesn't happen. Echoes Act 3. Seems Gary bot cottoned onto our conversation on its own. It's a very clever bot, isn't it? Oh my god, what was going on with that cable? Misworded. Oh, I misworded that wrong. The roof didn't snap, part of the body has snapped off. Ah. So what you're saying is it'll be a brake van with a very big window to deal with this hot weather we're having at the moment. D3 of course has a notoriety of being the engine on the LB&SCR engineering department cat badge. It does indeed. And the version of the cat badge that got copied for all those repos that were made years ago. Oh, you see, James, I could tell you what he wrote. Because when you retract a message off of the YouTubes, for some reason, my chatbot doesn't lose it. So I can still read all the retracted messages. In fact, even if mods delete them, they stay there. It's kind of weird. I'm not gonna, but I could. Link to the wrong person, sent the line of lyrics with echoes by Pink Floyd. Have yeah, because he mentioned it, sent it to you. Ah. It's an old Hornby, only our 20-ton one, so I'll make it into a mini Toad-like van instead. Fair enough. That'll be good for that, yes. So, because that me moving the microphone set that off and made you all go ow, that makes me think it's the springs that are actually causing the noise that is hurting your ears. So after the live stream tonight, I'm going to oil the springs on this where they join onto the thing, because that's where the noise comes from on them. Does that make sense? I know it's a band, but it's actually a JoJo reference. Pink Floyd and makes sense in the same sentence. Unusual. Yeah, good, but that is rather unusual, isn't it? Wow, TSW is unforgiving. Fall even slightly behind, and it snowballs fast. I thought we knew that about TSW. Yeah, I'm a massive fan of Pink Floyd's had to prove a well-oiled spring. Lubrication is important. Lubrication is indeed important. One thing I've never worked out is whether Pink Floyd were actually pink. It's all good to hear good things about them. Pink Floyd are great. Even the kids like Pink Floyd. Lubrication, Pink Floyd, Pink Lemonade. Kids like Pink Lemonade as well. Right, whilst that's soaked, let's get some more liquid in the hydration vessel to sit on top of the ice. Because every time I do that, a bit more of the ice melts. This table under here that I keep my cup on though is going to hate me. Pink Panther. I don't think the kids know the Pink Panther. I can play it on guitar. Because my guitar teacher had some really weird ideas of music. And so once, for a performance that he was doing to advertise himself, he made us play a mashup of the Pink Panther theme and the James Bond theme. I don't know why. He just felt that was appropriate. Gosh, the Pink Panther cartoon's not on television anymore. Not that I know of. Pinky in the Brain, swingy thing. What are we going to do tonight, Brain? Same thing we do every night. Pinky, try to line a loco. The kids know of Pinky in the Brain, but they don't. But I don't think they've ever actually seen an episode. You don't see the old cartoons much these days. They were on all the time in the 90s, 2000s. That is very true. There is a lot of new rubbish now. Shame, I love those ones. James is showing his youth. And that is the tank side lined. It's a very interesting form of chocolate, this. Now, I don't believe these bits are going to be long enough for the next bit, so we're going to use these that have a much shorter leg but also a slightly longer leg. Better or worse than Iron Brew chocolate? Oh, well now that's a hard one because that Iron Brew chocolate was amazing. I actually spent most of this morning watching old Donald Duck cartoons. Yeah, why not? It's been a long time since I've watched any old cartoons. Actually, no. I mean, that old, yes, but I have been watching stuff from the mid-90s. Or at least originating in the mid-90s. I believe it's still made, and it is not for children. But I've been watching it from the start, so I have been watching mid-90s cartoons even if it is still made. My favourite Pinky in the Brain, evidently, will always be the one where they succeeded in taking over the world. And they did that by making an entirely new Earth out of paper mache and got everyone to move to the paper mache Earth. And so then they had to try and take over the paper mache Earth because that's where everyone was. Back in the 90s, you not only had new kids programmes on TV, but also old stuff dating way back. Ivor Bagpuss, etc. essentially saw 40 years of kids' TV progression. There was more than that. There was stuff from the 30s still shown. Grew up on Ivor Bagpuss, Voltron, Pokemon, Original Thomas, Transformers, Pingu, Thundercats, etc. The kids still watch Pokemon and play it constantly. I remember watching cartoons from the 30s. Do believe I'm correct in saying Tom and Jerry is timeless. You would think so, but they're starting to edit Tom and Jerry and ban episodes of it. Mainly because of all the, when you look back on it, rather obvious racist stuff. Tom and Jerry did not hide their racism well. Some questionable things in Tom and Jerry, but still very good fun. Yeah, it's a great show. Yes, Gary, I'm still a fan of Pokemon. Have you? It's correct. Classic Tom and Jerry is hilarious. There is certainly nothing wrong with still being a fan of Pokemon. In fact, just because I can, there is my Game Boy Advance and my copy of Pokemon Yellow and Crystal, and because I am the coolest, green. They all sit under the workbench. Bagpuss has always been in the top 10 kids programs, even though they only made 13 episodes. I didn't realise it was that. I knew it wasn't many episodes. I didn't know it was that few. It's like Netflix banning and removing things. There's reasons they do it though. You're not wrong. There was that one character. There was a few things in Tom and Jerry that were very racist. Never knew there's only 13 episodes of Bagpuss. Indeed, no, I still watch the original Pokemon. I don't recognise anything past the original 151. It's fair enough. Is that Pokemon improved engine green? No, regular green. Never released outside Japan. Recently finished the newest one. Actually played semi-competitively during the Black-White era. Fair enough. After that, I've got my GBA Pokemon Blue and it sat next to me. See? I taught the kids well. They both have Gen 1 and Gen 2 games as well. Although, yeah, they generally play the new one. Although the boys not long finished playing through Pokemon Blue. Like last couple of weeks. I forgot to cut this one down. It wants to go about there. No, it's not worth the risk. I'll just end up moving something and ruining it. Extra hydration is extra important. Gen 1 is best these days. The number of Pokemon is mad. Half of them you can tell are scraping the barrel for ideas. Yes. That there is one that is literally a chandelier, and it is called something like chandelier. Not that they ran out of ideas or anything. So peak Pokemon design, in my opinion, is Gen 3. Some of them are really cool. I think I had Gen 3 games. I mean, I was very close to being married by the time Gen 3 came out. But I think I had Gen 3 games. A large chunk of my favourites are from Gen 2. Well, I've got Gen 2 sat here, so, you know. Right, so we want another one of those corners for here. We want a curvy bit for here. And a straight bit for here that we can definitely get in. Does Grandad always defeat Chandelier? Oh, I've never played any of the new ones, Killian. I just know these things exist because I have kids. When they start making things you find around the house into Pokemon, you know it's bad. Yeah. Oh, that's one as well. One of the ones the kids showed me the other day. It is an ice cream in a cone. And it's like, what? How is that an animal? Only if he hits the wrong part. Trainer sent out 4 keys. Mildly annoying poking. It was really not effective. Oh, brilliant. Back to Bagpuss. The little girl called Emily is actually called Emily. She was the photographer's daughter. Ah, interesting. It's always good when people called Emily are actually called Emily. I approve of Emily's being called Emily. I'm going to put one of these straight bits, this one, because that should be long enough. Yes. In the water, soaking. Was that a Peter Furman production? That's cool. I actually knew that. Yes. There we go. Those are all our answers in order. That is what we want there. Right, now we just need to cut out the curvy bit. I remember trapdoor with... Oh, I forgot about trapdoor. I remember it now that you've mentioned it. I approve of people knowing useless general knowledge. Useless general knowledge is the best type of general knowledge, I find. We want one of these curves. Because I believe that is going to be right for there. So as right as we're getting. Let's put it that way. I love trapdoor. Run the trapdoor. It was actually made in Norwich, RC. There's a film on them making a trapdoor on YouTube. You open the trapdoor because there's something down there. Ha ha. You know you're not going to get me singing theme tunes, yeah? This is not what happens. Alex doesn't remember trapdoor. Quick everyone, lynch him. It's what we do to people with different memories to us, isn't it? We are approaching the end of hour 2. do appreciate you all being here. It does mean a lot. I believe the guys who made Trapdoor went on to work for Aardman on Wallace and Gromit. I believe I remember hearing something like that, yes. On a TV show where they went to Aardman Studios. I don't know what or why. Oh dear, has it really gone by that fast? It has, Javier. Have no fear, we'll have a very special live stream next week. Because next Sunday is that one day of the year that's all about me. Although it's not actually only about me, because it's also my son's birthday. But next Sunday is my birthday, so we will be having a bring your own cake party. Where you lot will get to eat cake, but you have to provide it yourself. I won't be eating cake. Will there be cake? As I say, James, it'll be a bring your own cake party. You can have all the cake you want, but you have to provide it yourself. That's the deal. Right. Now I'm going to have to try and be very careful here. Because I didn't cut this down earlier, so I now need to cut the transfer down with it in place. We do have another hour. We do indeed. You won't be eating cake. No, I will have eaten cake beforehand, but I won't be eating it live on stream. Boy, birthday. Indeed. We can have cake if we make it ourselves, just like any other day. Yes, James, exactly. Kate just had to have a look at Wikipedia. Trapdoor came out the year I joined the army, so I don't remember it. Yep, fair enough. That's a good excuse to not remember it. Have to get some special stock out for that. Well, if there's any special stock you want, I know what my preferred stock for my birthday would be. We definitely need a picture of the cake. I'm not saying it's going to be a homemade cake. I might not get time to bake. It might be store-bought. And it will be done for my son rather than for me, to be honest. Unless the kids insist. Huzzah for birthdays. Indeed. Unfortunately, I know what I'm getting this year. Because the kids haven't exactly been able to go out and buy me anything. Right, I've got one more bit of straight in there to fill this gap. Oh, I can put another bit in and fill that bottom gap, I reckon. And then we'll need to find a corner piece. And that will be this side lined. And we can add numbers to make it not Victoria. And some letters. I mean, the letters will be indecipherable from Victoria because it will say LB&SCR and Victoria would have said that at some point. But yeah, we'll be able to put numbers on it to make it not Victoria. Now, let me find my picture. Because, as I say, I do believe that I will need to spread the LBSC slightly further apart. Ah, my one has it in LB and SCR, which would be fine. I suppose I can get away with that, just on my livery. Why should it not be Victoria? Because it's going to be Hayward's Heath. Huzzah for lining, really wish I could see it. Well, maybe you can watch it back in full quality to see the lining, or just, you know, I'll take a photo of it later. Proof of birthdays, but I restrict myself to having one per year. Good idea, don't want to overdo it. Right, I work in the morning, I need to go get some sleep. Night, oh, good night, Red. Thank you for coming by. Has been great having you here. Enjoy work. Put a picky of Hayward Heath in the Discord. Ah, excellent. Let's have a look-see. Oh yes, I've got that picture of Hayward Heath. Oh no, it looks like the chocolate company have stopped doing iron brewed chocolate. I believe I'm going to have to make a formal complaint. I'll wait for the recap vid on Thursday. Yep, fair enough. The recap vid will indeed show you the lining in all its lining glory. Although the thumbnail will probably show it better because for some reason I get better stills than I do video. It's quite annoying. And there we are, we just need one more corner piece to have the lining on this side done. The LB and SCRs on here are too far apart, so I'd have to shrink them together. So I think I will go with the original plan of just LBSC. There's the steel rule. Feel like YouTube is slowly dying on my end. First the sound issues and now this. Yeah, your computer hates YouTube or YouTube hates you. One of the two. It's all those nasty things you've said about it, Alex. It's got really upset. You have upset YouTube. How does it make you feel to know that you have upset YouTube? Probably good knowing you. And I can't say I blame you. get that bit out of the way. The fan has just turned up on my laptop, so the laptop's obviously starting to feel the heat now as well. Seemingly, I've checked my internet speed and that's fine, so I have no idea. Yeah, it's just YouTube being rubbish. No one's surprised. I've forgotten to cut that down. No one's surprised when YouTube does a rubbish. They both want cutting down as well. Oh no! And there we go. One side is lined. All the way along. So the only thing stopping this side being looking complete is the boiler bands. Boiler bands will come last. Yeah, most of my locos are going in the earlier LB&SCR. So when I was looking into this one and saw that I could get away with just having LB&SC, I was happy with that. Because it gives me something different. The shortening dates from 1911. I approve of line sides, thank you James. Yes, YouTube is awful. They've just announced more email notifications for new videos. Apparently only 0.1% open emails. Well, as one of the 0.1%, I'm angry. Admittedly, I use the email notifications. I quite often discover uploads through the email notifications rather than through checking my subscriptions. Up early tomorrow, so I think time to head to bed. Oh, good night all, and thanks for streaming, Gary. Good night, thank you for coming by. Shall speak to you some point through the week on Discord, I assume. Has been great having you here. I think it's alright. I think we'll go with that. I think it's okay. But yeah, I quite often discover video uploads from the emails rather than from the subscription feed. So that is annoying. Hydration, super important when it's super hot. Give it slightly longer to soak. It is quite a big piece, isn't it? And then we'll get a number on and we'll be very, very happy with it. Especially Alex, he'll be the most happy because he loves it being Hayward's Heath and not Victoria. That's his favourite thing about it. We all know that. Another reason for doing this with the LB&SC rather than LB&SCR is this is a late condition one. You can't, the kit doesn't cater for as built. Very, very is the best sort of happy. It is indeed. Except for possibly very, very, very. That could be better. Right, that's starting to move. Ah, yes. It looks too big to me, if I'm being honest, but it's the only size there is, so it's got to be right. I know Ian measured all these up properly. You should really measure when you're doing things like this, and you should use a better ruler than I'm using because, in fact, you should probably use verniers. But I've got quite good at doing this by eye, and that is dead centre. Now that I can just about see, and yes, they do look rather large. They do, but as I know Ian measured them all up properly and they're perfectly to scale. So they've got to be right. Plonk it on the chassis without the cab. Yeah, see, it looks fine in place. Wait, no. I didn't touch it that time. I never touched the microphone that time. I've no idea what that was. Wasn't me, Gov. Oh no, I've put it in some water and not even on the letters on the numbers I want. That was silly. We want a 3, a 7 and a 0. It's just become a nervous reaction now and your brain's just imagining it. The paranoia of has he, hasn't he? The bot says hydration is important. I'm impressed that nearly 3 hours after I got it out the freezer it still has ice in it. Right, my ears rang as well. Wow, I am sorry for whatever it was, but I know I didn't hit the mic. How very strange. There's a 7. See, everyone says I'm the mad one. I mean, are you denying that you're the mad one? Because I'd like to point out that one of the people that usually says it is you. And a 0. And that is our number. Even putting the hydration vessel caused the mic to ring slightly. That's impressive, because they're on completely different tables. We're all quite mad here. We are, aren't we, Killian? Wibble. Yeah, the distance between the hydration vessel, I wouldn't expect, and the fact it's on a table that's not attached to where the microphone is. It's very strange that doing that caused it. I'll have to check into it, see if I can do something about the sensitivity on that. Yes, but in this instance I was right, which is a very rare thing. No, it happens, and this can be one of those things we can use in the future to point out that you're not always wrong when you start trying to tell me you're always wrong. Mad world, only the mad are sane. Indeed, James. It just occurred to me, next year is the centenary year of the grouping. Yeah, or of the act, as Linny says. Work tomorrow, so I'll say good morning and catch you all next Sunday. Okay, good night, Paderborn. Sleep well. Enjoy work. Thank you for coming and all that other wonderful stuff. Don't forget to smash the like button on your way out. I've not said anything about the like button tonight, have I? That's very unlike me. Bad YouTube shill, Gary. Bad YouTube shill. I promise to be a better YouTube shill. No, I don't. I really don't. Okay, I'm wrong 99% of the time. I was waiting for that, Alex. No. You are wrong when you say that. There we go. I'll agree that you're wrong, but only you're wrong in that statement. Right, now let's get these numbers in the right place. There we go. Oh god, it's going to be 29 factories and that's 3 days. Oh god. So we have thunderstorm warnings Monday through Thursday here. And I'm hoping once that hits, like everything is just a bit more bearable. Now that I've moved them all like that, let's get them back in the right place. Too high up now. There we go, it's definitely not Victoria now, Alex. It is number 370. God, not too good. Go outside, but too... Oh God, too good not to go outside, but too hot for physical exertion. Yes, Killian. Whole country's under the warnings, they have no idea where they will happen. Oh, fun times. I mean, I'm assuming they're not going to happen here tomorrow, because although we have a yellow warning for thunderstorms, we also have a less than 5% chance of precipitation. Those two things don't really go together, do they? At least the way I view it, they don't. So, we have 40 minutes to go. We have one side fully lined. It seems only fair that we now move on to the back, obviously. Where else would we do next? I don't know why you would think we would do anywhere else. Those look to be about right. No worries, Gary can do another Vicky or Goldsmith another time. No, I don't think I can. I'm happy with 1D3. It's not a class that I feel the need to have multiple of. Met Office have posted a video on Twitter literally saying we have no idea, they could be anywhere, anytime. Awesome! Those are the best weather reports. But let's be honest, we're fine until they tell us there's not going to be a hurricane. That's when we need to worry. Oh well, I might do one someday. Excellent, you should. It's a very nice loco. It's just not one I feel the need to have multiples of. I mean, if I did do another one, it would be Victoria and it would be an improved engine green. For the younglings among us who didn't actually get my reference I made a minute ago, back in 1987 there was a weather report on ITV, or ITN I think it was precisely, where Michael Fish very proudly proclaimed, there's been talk of hurricanes coming. There will not be a hurricane. These are just rumours. And a hurricane literally struck the next day. So, you know, there's that. I'd like to sit down, work it out, but I feel like the Met Office is right only about 30% of the time, if that. You're not wrong. That's the man modelling the entire A1 class. The A1s are a very nice type of loco, and I do feel the need to have multiples of them. I just don't feel the need to have multiple D3s. Yeah, that would be a more useful place for you to cut, thank you. Silly Kniffy. But you need Victoria, everyone needs Victoria. I'm not sure I do, if I'm being entirely honest. And of course then comes the problem that this kit doesn't actually cater to the earlier build of the locos, which is what I would want. If I was to have another one, I would want it as built. With a smaller dome, slightly further forward, salt air safety valves, a whistle where the ramp's bottoms are, and stuff like that. That this kit is not capable of doing. I mean, it would be if I bought all the extra parts, but no. Actually slightly wrong, the kit. The cab's slightly the wrong size. I have drawings. That's annoying when kits only cater to rebuilt variants. It is very annoying. And it would actually be a lot more work than just buying the parts and whacking them on, because the kit is designed specifically for this. Hence why my Europa is pre-rebuild first. The best version of Europa, let's be honest. Now, whilst we do the back, we can get some numbers on the buffer beam. The number 370. What you need is a whole bunch of friends who do CAD work, but I don't know where you could find some of those. Oh, let me know if you find somewhere, yeah? Because that does sound like a really handy idea, Alex. I think you're on to something there. Sometimes I wonder about Ian's design choices. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, 6. Was there a disproportionate number of 6s? There must be a reason he's done that. I would love to know it. No, there's got to be a reason. I love the high there, have you? You post rebuild for what you'd need, but of course the big advantage is it can wear full Wainwright. See though, technically I don't need a Europa, I just want one. All the best locos are numbered 666. Clearly. Because 6 was added to numbers at the start of the duplicate list, hence Stepney went 5, 6. 6 was added to the start of the Terriers for the duplicate list. Not for all locos. Now, I'm not going to deride the idea that we need to make extra transfers because Terriers are really, really popular. Because I see nothing wrong with that notion. Terriers are the best. But adding 600 was a Terrier thing. Not an all locos thing. And technically, no, that's not, although technically it's not a duplicate list thing. The Brighton added an A for the duplicate list, which on improved engine green locos went above the number plate and was painted on. The reason for the renumbering of locos was because someone at the Brighton thought it was a really good idea that as new locos came out the workshops, they should have the lowest numbers. So every time a new class was built, they'd have to renumber something to move it out the way so they could give the lower numbers to the new class. But a good theory nonetheless. And in fact, in the case of the Terriers, I believe that it did coincide with some duplicate listing as well. Because it was around the time of the scrappings that they actually got moved. But of course they weren't the lowest of the low numbers. I've never understood the policy of new locos need to have the lowest numbers either. That sounds like a sensible system, doesn't it just? It's the most sensible system. There's multiple times where you have to, where locos are getting renumbered because their number's too low and something new has been introduced. And it's like, well, why? Why did you come up with this? And it wouldn't always be even that they were being moved for a loco that was replacing them, because I believe the Terriers were moved to give space for the B4s, which of course, as a big 440 tender express engine, nothing like a Terrier. Just happened to be a new class of locos that they wanted to give the numbers to. Was this number 1 D.E. Marsh by any chance? No, it predates Marsh. It was someone in the boardroom rather than in the engineering. Still super confused by the Irish MR loco from Discord. It says class is built 23. Why does it have both MR and early NCC on the tender and the early MR crest? It makes no sense at all. And looks like it's designed 20 years earlier. It does definitely look earlier than 1923. It's very strange. But, I mean, I see no other explanation. All that was there without having books to hand to read. But yeah, that looked nothing like a 1923 loco. It has a tiny outside frame tender, not very post-World War One design, and the Diamond MR crest was superseded in 1907. Oh wow. I mean, I would say, is there a chance the tender was from an earlier loco? But even the loco itself looks early. And there we go, we have a USB stick falling down. 370 on the buffer beam. So you can tell where it's from, what number it is, from behind. And we'll put my USB stick back up. I really need to get some shelves on this, but I don't want to do too much building work to the studio where it is. I want to get it moved into its proper home first, where there will be lots of additional shelving. Hydration, still important. Exactly, the whole class had those tenders. Oh, well, I mean, the whole class could have inherited tenders, but it still seems unlikely with how the loco looks. It's not like it looks like a modern loco attached to an old tender. Makes sense, better to wait. Yeah, until I keep dropping things. I know exactly how that studio is going to look. I just need to get the stuff out of it. which means getting the shed built. And God, do I not want to do that. Right, so we're going to go with these ones and get the lining done on the top and bottom of that panel, and that'll be the rear end done. Get on with it. No. It is currently too hot to be digging massive holes, regardless of what I use to do it. I do really fancy hiring a digger for the day to do it though, just so I can play with a digger for a day. I mean, obviously the ease of the workload will be nice as well, but I kind of just want to play with giant Tonka toys. Excuses, right. You get out in my garden with a shovel then, Alex. Off you go. Right, it's time for that multi-hand thing again. And that is now the right size. Wahey! I should really have measured the second one off that. My services don't come cheap. That's not a problem. Not a problem at all. Off you go. When can you start? Oh, and there's a link to the Facebook. Isn't that cool, Alex? A link to my Facebook page. I get paid cash up front, no refunds. Okay, well, the cash is waiting. As soon as you get here to take the cash out my hand. When you coming? Obviously, I can only pay cash because of tax purposes and all that. So you'll have to come and collect the cash. The bot has no moral compass. Of course it doesn't, it's a bot. looks shorter than last one. Yeah, that would have been slightly too short there. I'm glad I checked that. But not only is the bot a bot, but it's a Streamlabs bot, which means it's owned by Logitech. Of course it has no moral compass. If I lift this up, you probably stand a better chance of seeing what I'm doing as I leave this transfer to dry whilst moving the camera. And now there is just one more transfer to attach, and that is that done. And we still need to do the back of the cab. But don't tell anyone. And that is another panel complete. Progress. Can breathe again. Now the good news is I do actually have pre-formed cab bits. So we've got 10 minutes to go. We could potentially get the back of the loco done. Huzzah, hurrah for loco backs. Yes, I'm actually quite impressed with the progress tonight, all things considered. I mean, hopefully next week will be cooler and I'll be able to be more focused, and we could potentially finish this next week. it'll either be next week or the week after. I want to get the back of this finished, so I'm going to do stuff I shouldn't do and get the sides of the thing stuck on right after the top. I'll need to cut them down a bit though. But if you don't tell anyone I'm cheating with transfers and being naughty, then I won't either. Apparently the coal tank is unlikely to be painted LNWR lined livery. The curved bunker rear makes lining a paint. It's most likely going to remain LNWR plain black. Fair enough. Nothing wrong with plain black. You can just say you didn't want it in BR livery. Much I like to see it lined, at least it's still pre-grouping. Yes, very much so. And on a more serious note, you know, a lot of people, if it was in lined, would think it was in BR livery. So is it really that bad that it's going into unlined? Gotta stop letting them slip out my hands. No, I just do like LNWR lined with the number plates on the tank sides. Yes, it does look very smart when done properly, doesn't it? Hey folks, posting new builds, I need to relax and watch someone else build. Well, hello Michael McCarville, welcome. You join us on the last just over 5 minutes of the stream. We are very close to wrapping up tonight. We have been lining this loco. So it has had all its lining transfers applied to this side. It has mostly had the rear done now. We've just got a couple of little bits to attach to the rear, and that is that done as well. So it has been a night of progress. Yeah, It's typical, isn't it? What has your new build been? And there we go, that is actually the back of the logo complete now. Bar cold. We have 5 minutes left on the timer. I'm going to bring the camera back down to earth. There we go, that's a bit better. And I'm actually going to completely change up here and get the paint out, because there's a couple of bits I forgot to paint. Namely, the top of the safety valves here should be red, and I need to get some silver on the smoke box door handle. Cleared my bench, Craftsman mine kit is done. Excellent! Good to hear it is done. Thanks, red paint. That's totally what I wanted. When are you on next? Every Sunday. 9 till midnight UK time. I also do videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays. They go up 6 PM UK time. There we go, there is the red on there, despite the pot trying to fight me with how the paint has stuck across the top. Really weird that it's done that instead of sticking to the lid. And yes, there is the bot to remind you all to smash that like button or give it a gentle tap, and whilst you're there, make sure to hit that you subscribe if you aren't already, and ring that notification bell so you get alerted whenever I go live or upload a video. There we go, I've done my YouTube shield for the night. That's the first time I've read the full spiel. This does not want to open. There we go. It can be quite tough, the child lock on these, when they start to stick, because the paint's got on them. Yes, all the door furniture on these should be silver, such as the hinges. And I completely forgot to do it when we were painting. So I shall do it now to end the live stream. And there we go, that is that done. And I make it $23.59. So it must be time to wash the brush, put the logo back on its chassis, maybe even put it up on the pedestal, and get a nice shot of it to close. I don't want to press it down too hard because I don't want to touch it. I've forgotten to put the cap back in. Let's put the cap back in quickly. There we go. I'm not going to put too much effort into pressing it down because I don't want to touch the transfers and pull them off before they're sealed. Grab the pedestal down. Get the box again. Which I can stick some blue tack onto to hold my piece of card up because I still haven't done this properly. And then if I move out the way and let the light get on it, and there we are. Got a chance putting quality back up for the end. Well, hopefully it pays off for you, Alex, because I am very happy with how that is looking. So yes, here we are at the end of the live stream. Splendid work. Thank you, Harry. Oh, it looks great. Top job, dude. Thank you very much, Alex. So yes, thank you for coming, guys. It has been absolutely amazing to do this. There's a video coming up for you on Tuesday. The review of this coming up on Thursday. And then next Sunday we are back with the live stream on my birthday, because it is my birthday next Sunday, so we'll be having a bring your own cake party. Make sure you bring your own cake, otherwise you're not getting any. Very nice line in tonight. Thank you, Javier. Looks amazing. Thank you, Heritage Railway Productions. That's looking stunning. Thank you, Lily. There is little enough work that it's potentially, there is the potential there for us to finish it next week. We might not, it might stray over into the week after, but it would be great to finish it on my birthday. That would be amazing if we can do that. I will get these transfers sealed in with some varnish before next week. So all that's left for me to say is thank you for coming, everyone. It's been absolutely amazing. Please do smash the like button if you haven't already. Or if you've not liked it, smash the dislike button. You're more than welcome to do that. But in the meantime, from a very hot Oak Hill Works, I would like to bid you all good night. Thank you for coming, and see you in the next one.